The examples we set for the players today will help teach positive lessons for the future. Let's all do our part to help give respect throughout the game. And now let's meet the players and the coaches for this Class 3 semifinal ball game. We'll first meet the Marshall Owls, who will be the visiting team on the scoreboard. The Owls are coached by Ian Burks. His assistant coaches are Kelly Hallinan and Matt Green. They come into today's game with a record of 17-10. We'll first meet the non-starters for Marshall. Number 2, Devin Cott. Number 3, Hayden Heisler. Number 6, Hannah Cooley. Number 7, Brandon Johnson. Number 8, Caleb Willis. Number 11, Logan Harris. Number 17, Joseph Damiano. Number 19, Tyler Hunt. Number 21, Trent Tolliver. Number 25, Anthony Nzuza. And number 29, Jared Harris. And now the starting lineup for the Owls. Leading off, the pitcher, number 12, Aaron Skinner. Batting second, catcher number 23, Zach Bishop. Batting third and playing third base, number 13, Jordan Pennell. Batting fourth, the shortstop, number 9, Henry Teets. Batting fifth, the right fielder, number 22, Tyler Cott. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 20.
Springfield, Missouri for the second of 2 semifinal games in Class 3 on this day at Meador Park. The Marshall Owls taking on the Westminster Christian Academy Wildcats for the right to play Lutheran South in the state final. Mick Schaefer alongside Lance Quisenberry. I tell you what, standout players on both these teams. First from Marshall, Lance, Jordan Pennell. Big, good-looking player over there at third base.
Looks like he passed in the middle of the order of their lineup, and looks like he's caused some damage over the year. Also throws for him a little bit, and so looking forward to how he's going to match up against Westminster pitching.
One of those all-around athletes you'll see on the mound, produce at the plate and at third base. And then, talk about production, Tate Matheny. The name sounds familiar, it should. Son of the Cardinals manager. Lance, he's hitting .614 this year.
That was not a big deal last year, but with these new bats coming in, but now when you see a kid put up that type of average and hit 10 home runs with the new bats that have come out the BB cores, it's big.
He is a good-looking player. He's going to be here starting next year, coming to Missouri State. But for now, he's got a game to play, and we'll show that to you after this.
Second baseman, number 1, Connor Larson. Batting seventh, right fielder, number 12, Jordan Smith. Batting eighth, wearing number 8, the left fielder, Jacob Buffa. Batting ninth, the designated hitter, number 11, Bryce Bell. And pitching for the Wildcats, number 25, Davis Vanderslice. The Westminster Christian Wildcats. The umpires for today's game are Leroy Raw behind home plate, Bill Buchanan will be at first base, and Mark Mars at third. These umpires were selected to work this event based on their outstanding work during the regular season. Let's congratulate these hard-working officials who were selected to be part of this year's championship. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please please rise, remove your caps, and face the flag as we honor America with the play of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, fans are reminded that your admission to Meador Park is good for admission all day. You must have the appropriate wristband to be
That's Quisenberry McShafer alongside the Marshall Owls and the Westminster Christian Wildcats for the second semifinal game in Class 3 at Meador Park in Springfield. Our first game was won by Lutheran South, 8-6. As you see, they advanced on. Westminster Christian and Marshall now. Westminster Christian, they took care of Orchard Farm 3-0 and then beat Mexico 11-1 to get here. And then Marshall beat Cuba 8-2. And then Logan Rogersville 5-4. So both Cuba and Mexico, by the way, going down path to the semifinals. There's Marshall's head coach Ian Verts, 17-10 at Marshall this season, 44-74, and won somehow a tie in there overall. And here is his lineup. Leading off is the pitcher Aaron Skinner. Lefty-lefty matchup for both pitchers in this game. Zach Bishop, the catcher. Jordan Pinnell, the guy we featured in the open at third base. Henry Teets, another big-time hitter for Marshall. While they caught Brendan Porter, Lawrence Sims. And then Paul is playing second base. He'll be DH'd by Colin Brennan. Your pitcher, Davis Vanderslice for Westminster Christian. Had a terrific year so far, 6-0, a 1.07 ERA in just under 40 innings pitched. He's got 41 strikeouts. Here's his defense. Shane Bennis, son of former Major League great Andy Bennis at shortstop. Tate Matheny, the center fielder, son of Mike Matheny, the manager of the St. Louis Cardinals. You also have Connor Einertson, who'll be playing college ball. At first, Larson at second, Turner at third, Bond behind the plate, Buffa and Smith also in the outfield. Here we go. Quickly, 2-0 to the leadoff hitter, Aaron Skinner. Skinner, like we said, is a lefty pitcher as well, lefty-lefty. He's leading off. He's hitting 140 on the year, but he draws a lot of walks, leads the team with 18 base on balls.
And that's the name of the game, is leadoff hitter. Not not really looking a whole lot at batting average. You're looking at on-base percentage, and obviously Aaron's doing a good job of getting on base, and that's all the leadoff hitter's got to do.
What did we see last game? A team won 8-6 with 4 total hits. Lutheran South had 4 hits. That's a strikeout there for Davis Vanderslice.
Not only 4 hits, maybe they get 4 hits and score a couple runs. They got 8 runs out of that.
Amazing. We saw what patience at the plate, a discerning eye, and speed can do last game. Here's the 2-hole hitter, Zach Bishop. So we got the battery leading off for Marshall. 17-10 on the season. Probably a surprise team, but if there's a team that you look at that has been playing better than they had the rest of the season, it's Marshall here to get to the semifinals, beating Logan and Rogersville in a great game, 5-4. Our first trip to the Final Four. Marshall, Bishop lining out to the first baseman Connor Einertson, and 2 away.
2 quick outs here for Westminster, and we've got our 3-hole hitter though coming up, Pinnell, and see if he can. Kind of interested to see what he can do against this matchup here and against this Westminster pitching.
Leads the team in RBI and in doubles. He's a .347 hitter. Kind of the meat of this lineup: Jordan Pinnell, Henry Teets, and then Bishop and Cott as well, the guys that produce for this team.
First inning's always interesting, just kind of feeling each other out. And last game we saw a whole lot of runs scored the first inning, and a little better focus here by your pitcher here than what we saw, and really pounding the zone.
Vanderslice can't get that call, and it's 2-1. Vanderslice, just a junior. Lefty on the mound.
Now we got that open stance and coming into the home plate as the pitch comes.
Just got a piece of that one.
Usually on a guy that's got a big open stance like that, if you can throw a fastball in the inner half of the plate, they have no chance at it.
That ball on the inner half, bounced up the middle and through. So Jordan Pinnell gets a base hit past the glove of Larson at second, and Marshall as their first runner on.
It's like just a fastball over the middle of the plate, and maybe not to exactly where he wanted it, but did a good job of keeping his hands in and driving it up the middle.
So here is Henry Teets, 5'10" junior, leads the team in average at .354. 20 RBIs on the season, looking for another one here.
Yeah, getting a run here early is big. You look on paper, and it really looks like Westminster should have the advantage, but you get a run on the board early here, might be change the thing up.
Teets swings through that one from Vanderslice. You got the gun on Vanderslice. What's he throwing?
He's anywhere from upper 70s to low 80s, somewhere around there. Looks like he's topped out at he's hit 83 one time.
First is Pinnell. Ball high. On the season, Pinnell, not really a threat to run. We saw last game though, Lutheran South was able to manufacture so many opportunities by being aggressive on the base paths. And there goes Pinnell. Hit and run was on, fouled off, he'll go back to first.
Yeah, I think if you're Marshall here, like I said, scoring early is big, and 2 outs here and run at first, you got to find a way to get a runner to second base and get him in scoring position.
2-2 pitch, swung through again, and there's a strikeout for Vanderslice, and Westminster is through their part of the first unscathed. Vanderslice on the K. The Wildcats up for the first time. one hit for Marshall, but no runs in their half of the first. We head to the bottom of the first here at Meador Park in Springfield. Class 3 semifinal. Westminster Christian up for the first time. 27-3 on the season. Head coach Rich Van Gilst. His 28th season at Westminster. Won the state title last year over Savannah, the team we just saw fall to Lutheran South. Interesting, Westminster Christian, Lutheran South in the same conference up there in St. Louis. And leading off for Westminster Christian, we'll get to their lineup momentarily, but you can watch this guy hit. Tate Matheny. Leadoff hitter and leads off with a base hit. Ups that .614 average. Leads the team in average, RBI, almost 50 RBI on the season already.
Don't think the Skinner knows who's hitting. His first 2 pitches were curveballs,
right.
So you got already careful with him.
Matheny and then Bennis, son of Andy Bennis, followed by Luke Turner, Connor Einertson, hitting cleanup, Brett Bond, Connor Larson, Jordan Smith, Jacob Buffa, and Bryce Bell. The DH round out the lineup for Westminster. So here's Shane Bennis, his dad Andy, who's in the major leagues for a number of years. He's now on the staff here at Westminster Christian. And there's Matheny taking off, and no chance for Bishop to get Matheny, and that's a stolen base for him. Stolen base number 20 on the year for Matheny.
I was going to point out he had 19 stolen bases, so you probably expect him to be moving, and I wouldn't put it past him here to look to steal third either.
He leads the team in average, stolen bases, doubles, triples, home runs, RBIs, walks. Bennis, little chopper to the mound. Good job by Skinner to not only field it, but also look back Matheny at second, and one down here in the bottom of the first.
Skinner, I mean, even though he gave that first base hit there to Matheny, he's going at the hitters. Doesn't look like he's afraid of him, and going in the zone.
Skinner 5-2 on the season. 2.10 ERA, 50 strikeouts. Luke Turner now the batter, with a runner in scoring position at 1 out. Skinner high and outside on that offering. Turner is a senior. He's your third baseman. He's hitting .407. Averages just jump out at you for this Westminster team. He's got 27 RBIs on the season.
Yeah, we told you, talking about that, how the bats, the BB core bats, have really driven down offense. But when you got guys who are hitting that type of average, you know they can really swing it, or they wouldn't have that type of average.
Matheny at second. Turner taking strike 2.
Great pitch there, fastball in under the hands. It's fastball inside is such a good pitch, and I like to see pitchers go to that and go to it early.
Skinner fakes to throw him to second. Turner up the middle, off the glove of the second baseman Paulus, and coming around to score is Tate Matheny. No throw. 1-0 Westminster.
Yeah, I thought maybe could have got there and fielded that ball in the middle of his body, but went to the backhand instead, and that's just a tough play for any infielder. That backhand, that ball's hit hard, so tough play, and ball got by him.
Tough play, but E4 as the runner Turner is safe. Matheny scores, and here's the cleanup hitter Einertson. Connor Einertson, he's the senior. Little brother Colin Einertson is a sophomore, actually a little bit taller than Connor. Connor's going to DePaul to play next season. Off the fist there and fouled off.
Don't hear many guys going to DePaul to play baseball.
No.
I mean, from this area, I mean, you just usually have closer connections than that. And that's one you don't hear every day.
Paul, about 4 hours from St. Louis. Westminster Christian. We call it St. Louis, but technically they're from Town and Country, Missouri. You ever been to Town and Country, Lance?
I don't think so. I think we had a Town and Country supermarket in my hometown, but
basically one of those suburbs that's kind of made up recently, I believe.
I guess.
Get a lot of those in the metropolitan areas. Einertson taking ball 3.
I think Skinner's going to live on those corners. Now, I got a lot of velocity on his fastball, and he's going to have to get the umpire to call those pitches strikes, or he could be in for a long day.
That ball is outside, and another base runner for Westminster. 2 on, 1 out. Brett Bond, the catcher, comes up. He's a switch hitter, so bat right-handed.
Roll it up, go! Good, Luke. Right there.
And that ball is smashed to short, but a great play there by Teets, who turns and throws to Paulus to double up the runner, and a big double play. Their turn by Marshall. The damage is limited to just 1 run on 1 Westminster hit. Good defense so far in this Class 3 semifinal. Westminster, after 1, leads it 1-0. Westminster Christian able to scoot across a run there in the first, and as we head to the second, they lead Marshall 1-0. Wildcats over Owls in this state semifinal game in Class 3. The right to play Lutheran South for the state championship on Saturday. Tyler Cott, the 5-hole hitter from Marshall, comes up, leads things off here in the second, takes strike 1. Cott's just a sophomore, 300 hitter. We mentioned after Cott, the average is kind of dramatically dropped for Marshall. The rest of the way down the lineup.
Yeah, the middle of the order is definitely the strongest part of the order, and Vanderslice, just like he did first inning, is doing a good job of throwing strikes. And
good pitch there, just inside 1 and 2, and has been working ahead most of the way so far.
Watching infield, outfield, notice Westminster's got pretty solid defense, so I think he feels pretty confident in going to the strike zone, making batters swing at the pitch.
Swung at that one, foul tip, and strikeout for Vanderslice. Struck out the last 2.
Designated hitter Colin Brennan.
Took a ball in the outer half and just swung through it.
Colin Brennan now comes up. Brennan is your DH, hitting for the second baseman, Mason Paulus. See these teams use the DH in a variety of ways, sometimes for pitchers, sometimes for regular fielders, and other times not at all.
And you got that option as a coach. You just, which is nice, you know, whichever hitter that you deem may be the weak link, I guess, in your lineup, you can put that DH in there for him.
Well, so many times, and really, Westminster Christian is the exception in this, as Davis Vanderslice strikes out his third batter in a row. So many times, your best player, your best athlete is the guy you're throwing on the mound, and that translates into a very good hitter as well. But when you're a guy like Davis Vanderslice, you focus on pitching, and I guess that's worked so far.
Yeah, you don't see it a lot at the high school level, and they've got some pitching there, and that's all they do.
Playing in and right is Smith, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, Marshall is down in the second. To the bottom of the second, Westminster Christian looking to add to that 1-0 lead. Back here at Meador Park, Springfield, Missouri, that's Andy Bennis. Just a ho-hum assistant coach for Westminster Christian. Oh yeah, and a former Major League great. The Cardinals for many years, the Padres. Brother Alan Bennis pitched as well. Now his son Shane Bennis is on this team. He's a sophomore. Andy Bennis has been an assistant coach the last 2 years, basically joined whenever his son got to high school age. And they're two done. We talked about the pitcher Davis Vanderslice for Westminster, but there's another guy, Lance, in Benjamin Lovell, who's a terrific pitcher as well, and that's all he does is pitch. You were saying that's hard to convince guys at the high school level to do that.
Yeah,
just be a pitcher.
It's very, very rare. Most of your pitchers are some of your better player, you know, as far as defensively and at bat as well. So you don't see that very often. But Westminster has a couple of them.
Connor Larson two hops it to the second baseman Paulus, who throws to first and easily gets the first out of the inning. But then what's that like, having a guy like Bennis on your staff, to where you don't maybe bring all those major league philosophies and practices to a high school team, but there's got to be little bits and pieces of knowledge he's gained over the years that he can bestow upon these guys that really nobody else can.
Well, just the name, and then knowing that he was a major league pitcher, and they're going to listen whenever he says something, and not that they wouldn't listen to somebody else, but his words carry probably a little more weight than your average assistant coach does.
Jordan Smith takes for a ball 1-1. Jordan Smith, a 400 hitter, hits 7th in this lineup. He's just a sophomore.
Yeah, when you're throwing through 400 hitters out there in your 7-hole, you got to feel pretty good about your lineup.
That ball's in the dirt. That ball is high, and another base runner here for the Wildcats. And, you know, just because somebody's bat higher than somebody else doesn't mean you bat them higher in the order. It's right. You know, maybe a kid feels more comfortable in a certain spot, and you know, you got to do that. But it also balances your lineup. Yep. You have hitters all the way through it. Jacob Buffa now up. He's the left fielder. He's only hitting .379. Yes. Well, last inning, leadoff hitter was going when he got on first base, and let's see if they played any different. Big lead over there as the throw chases back Smith. Ball catches the inside part of the plate. And that's what Skinner needs. He needs that. He needs those corners called, and if the umpire give him that, I think he can cause the Westminster hitter some problems. Another inside pitch. That's a ball. What a run it's been for Westminster. They lost their first game of the year to Parkway South 9-5. They lost to Parkway North. Then a team out of Ohio. They were 3-3 at one point. And they rattled off 24 in a row, and most of them not even close. Right. That's a pretty good run. It's hard enough to win games in a row, but when you're putting 24 up there, there's not a lot of teams that can do that. The strike called. 1 ball, 2 strikes. In fact, in their last 11 games, the most runs they've given up is 3. Done that once, and 2 twice. The rest have been 1s and 0s. That ball smacked to center. Coming up to make the play, though, is Lawrence. Heading back to first, and just getting back in time is Smith. It was probably about 2/3 of the way to second before Lawrence caught that ball. That ball was hit on the nose. Yep. And hey, tell hitters all the time, all you can do is hit it hard, and it's just kind of up to the baseball gods after that whether it's a base hit or not. But that's all you can control is hitting the ball hard, and that's what he did. It just didn't turn out. Just ask Brett Bond, who killed one to short last inning, and that resulted in a double play to end the inning. Over to first goes Skinner. You're talking about how many runs that Westminster's given up, and their team ERA is 1.42. So that's amazing. That's incredible. 2 dominant pitchers, some great defense, and a great bunt laid down here. Does Skinner have time? No. Had to field that pretty cleanly, and a lefty on the mound, that's the wrong way to go to try and turn and make that throw to first. So on safely, it was Bryce Bell. I'd say Bryce Bell has done that a few times this year, knowing that he's got a excellent hitter behind him. All he knows is I got to find a way to get on base and keep this inning going and let Mr. Matheny do the rest. Again, the 9-hole hitter hitting 300, and so here you got a guy that's hitting twice that and some. Tate Matheny. And you know, as a pitcher, you're like, well, I don't want to give this guy anything to hit, but then you got a guy by the name of Bennis sitting there on deck waiting to hit, and so you don't have much of a choice. Delivery is skied to center field. The 2 outs, runners are going. Finally comes down into the midst of Lawrence, and Westminster threatens. They can't add to their lead. Marshall fans standing and applauding, holding off the Wildcats one more time. It's 1-0. We go from 2 to 3. Davis Vanderslice working on a one-hitter so far. 3 strikeouts. His Wildcats have a 1-0 lead. And Lance so far, he's looked the part.
Yeah, haven't seen really anything special. Like I said, his fastball maybe tops out in the low 80s, but he has went right at their hitters, and right now the hitters haven't responded to him coming at him. So they need to make some adjustments, and he's not going to throw a lot of balls. He's just ready to get in there and hit.
Faced 1 over the minimum so far. This is Darian Lawrence, first pitch swinging. Can he beat out the grounder to second? No. Good play there made by Larson over to Connor Einertson. Connor to Connor, if you're keeping track.
Yeah, as probably a second baseman, you're just kind of like, well, I wish the pitcher hadn't got his glove on that. It made the play a lot easier for me, but he did, and it makes the play a little tougher. And Larson did a good job of attacking the baseball and making a good controlled throw to first base to get the out.
Always tough 1-4-3 put out there.
Right.
Sebastian Sims, your batter. Left fielder, he's a senior. And he delivers here with a base hit. Sebastian Sims on at first. Marshall with their second hit, second base runner.
Sims just getting a fastball there, looks like, and pulling into left field. Got a base runner with your top of the order coming up, and so Clinton in a good spot here, and get some runners in scoring position and get some hits to get on the board.
Here's Aaron Skinner yet again, the leadoff hitter. Top of the order back up for Marshall. And he tries to lay down a bunt. Instead, he pops it foul back against the netting. So fortunate that didn't turn into an out.
The best defense against a guy squaring around a bunt is throwing a fastball up, because that's right there is a good, gives you an idea of what's going to happen a lot. They'll pop that up, and so I don't know if Vanderslice did that on purpose, but that's a good pitch if he's going to square to get the fastball up and see if he'll pop it up.
Down 0-2 now after crushing that one foul.
You just got to like Vanderslice. You know, he gives up a hit, big deal. I'm coming right at you. Right. You know, next hitter's down 0-2.
Leadoff hitter turning into bunt there. Do you kind of get the feeling that Marshall knows it's going to have to try and manufacture some runs in this game?
Yeah, I think they understand that they're the underdog, and they're going to do some different things to win this ball game.
And that flares out into the outfield and is dropping down for another base hit. So Marshall back-to-back singles here with 1 out in the 3rd.
You know, we look at paper and we look at this game, it just doesn't look like it's going to be a big matchup, but as they say, games aren't played on paper, and get some confidence here for these players from Marshall and get a run here, and then you see the other team start pressing a little bit because they know they're supposed to win. So it's a situation where Marshall can put themselves in a good spot if they can get a run or two here on the board and change the look of the outlooks of this game.
Caleb Willis comes in to run for the pitcher Skinner. So that's Willis at first, Sebastian Sims at second, and up for the second time is Zach Bishop.
Love that name, Sebastian Sims.
Pretty sweet, isn't it?
Yes.
Sims dekes, fakes the steal attempt to third, scurries back to second. Strike 1 on Bishop. High, ball 1. Swing and a miss on what looked like a changeup maybe. something off speed there from Vanderslice.
That's a good pitch if it was, but definitely took something off of it where he just took something off his fastball through the change. And
that one outside, and it's 3-2 here.
3-2 and one out, and you got your best hitter on deck and could do some damage here.
Big at bat early on in the game here from Marshall. And that's ball 4. So the bases will be loaded for their best hitter. Jordan Pennell leads the team in RBIs. Another courtesy runner coming in as the catcher comes out. That's Brandon Johnson running for Bishop. Johnson, a junior at first, Sebastian Sims over at third, and then Willis, a sophomore, at second. And they're going to talk about it, Westminster. You see Andy Bennis stride to the mound.
Well, this situation is always, as a hitter, as you know, coaching-wise, you're always, I'm sure a coach there is talking to Pennell, telling him, hey, be patient. Don't swing at something out of the zone. Don't hit a pitcher's pitch. Hit your pitch. Make him come in your zone, and don't just swing at a strike. Swing at a strike that you can hit hard, and see if Pennell here can be patient and get the pitch he wants to hit.
Now batting third baseman Jordan Pennell.
All right, so bases loaded. Back when the windup goes Vanderslice.
Set in a good spot if you're Pennell. 2-0. Fastball coming. Don't try to do too much with it. Just put the good part of the bat on it and see what happens.
Pennell up 2-0, and it's now 3-0. That one's upstairs. So Marshall's just one pitch away from being able to tie this game with a walk. Maybe take the lead with a base hit.
I'd say he'll be taking all the way here.
And strike, and actually Jordan Pannell, I'm being told.
Pannell?
It's his fault. He's got 2 ins and 2 L's.
Jordan Pannell has a chance to do some damage here.
And that's an RBI. As crossing home is Sebastian Sims, and we have a tie ball game.
This is kind of like this if you're Marshall, and you just wonder how the Westminster kids, what they're thinking, if they're going to tighten up now, or if they're just going to not worry about it, and we're going to get them later. But got to stop the bleeding here.
Belief is a bad thing to give the underdog, is it not?
It's seen a lot of upsets happen because of that.
Who knows, though? Marshall playing great baseball to get here. And a great first few innings here as Teets swings and misses.
Had a good rip at that one.
Now 2 balls, 1 strike. Davis Vanderslice, after working ahead of hitters the first couple innings, been behind them here in the third. Ball swung on and hit to center field, and it's carrying. Making the catch, though, is Matheny. Firing it in, but not before the run scores from third. And the runner advances to third. So 2-1, Marshall has the lead now. The sacrifice fly from Henry Teets.
When he hit that ball, I didn't know if it was going to be far enough to get the run in, but it just kept going. And he got it off the handle a little bit, but the ball kept going.
We saw Matheny's first step was in.
Right. And he had to get on his horse to go get it, or he wouldn't have got it. First and third, we're going to try to move the runner here at first. What are we going to do?
There's 2 outs. Willis was the one that scored. The pinch runner, Brandon Johnson, is at third. Pannell is at first. Tyler Cott, the sophomore. Strike. 0-2.
Vanderslice coming right back at hitters. Giving up a 2 spot here, but don't want to give up another.
Cott, bouncer up the middle. Gloved by the shortstop. Bennis tagging the bag at second and getting out of the inning. However, it's Marshall putting 2 on the board, manufacturing a couple of runs. A sac fly and a walk RBI. It's 2-1. Owls leading Wildcats.
T-shirt toss. Emory and This is championship, so show off your dance crew. For the Wildcats, the shortstop, Shane Bennis.
Bottom of 3 here in Springfield. 2-1 Marshall leading Westminster. Shane Bennis will lead things off for the Wildcats. It's Aaron Skinner, the man on the mound from Marshall, and he drops strike 1 in there.
I think if he can drop that curveball in there for strike 1 pretty consistently, that's going to make it tough on the Westminster hitters.
In the dirt with that one. Count evens at 1-1. Here's Bennis. He's just a sophomore. Very talented player, though. 372 hitter. He's got 47 RBIs on the season.
There's some schools up here that haven't scored 47 runs.
It's amazing.
Yeah. You got 47 RBIs. That's got to be really high up there.
The offensive numbers that this team has put up is unmatched.
Yes.
But it's baseball. Team game built on individual confrontations. Anything can happen. And what happens there is a base hit. Through the hole on the left side, and Bennis is on with the leadoff single.
Skinner is dropping that curveball in there for first strike, okay, but when you're doing it later in the count, you got to get that ball down, and right now he's leading over the plate, and they're shooting it through that 5-hole over there.
Here's Luke Turner. Caught the inside corner, strike 1.
Good there, mixing things up a little bit. Coming with the fastball first pitch, so they can't set on one thing.
Turner hits it hard to the right side, but gloved by Paulus, scrambles up and gets the out at first. Advancing to second base is Bennis, but 1 down from Marshall here in the 3rd.
Paulus would have liked to have gotten the lead runner at second, but since he had to die, that pretty much took that option away, and so take that out at first and make sure you get an out.
Pitch there by Skinner, swinging through that one is Einertson.
Had a good swing at it, just got it up a little bit and swung through it.
Marshall will throw that for a strike this inning.
And that's a good get-over strike. It is. Just hope he doesn't throw it here with 2 strikes. I'd say Einertson will probably be ready for it. Needs to work that thing down in this situation.
Einertson, one of 2 lefties in Coach Rich Van Gilst's lineup today.
Come on, Connor. Right there. 1 more.
And that ball, once again, hit to second. Once again, it's Mason Paulus for out number 2. Bennis to third.
And that, you know, as a left-handed hitter facing a left-handed pitcher, that pitch comes across there and you think, man, I can pull this, and that's usually the result when you try to pull that pitch is a rollover ground ball to second base. If he goes with that pitch and hits it to left field, maybe he drives it for a base hit.
Brett Bond up again. Remember, that hard hit ball right at the shortstop that resulted in a double play to end the first inning in the threat that Westminster had. Now up again in an RBI situation with the runner at third.
Westminster would like to get this game tied up.
And they do not. Soft liner at the first baseman. Porter makes the play, and Marshall throws up another 0. For the Owls, fans standing in approval are still up after 3. We head to the 4th. It's 2-1 Marshall.
Congratulations to Aaron.
You know, Lance, last game we saw a team live on manufacturing runs, walking, getting on base, stealing bases, and this is what Marshall did in the 3rd.
Yeah, I had a bases loaded walk there, and then you sacrifice fly, and next thing you know, we got a 2-1 lead, and maybe got the upset brewing here.
Certainly would be. Marshall 17-10. Won the districts, got into the playoffs, just a 15-10 record, but then beat Cuba, Logan Rogersville, and then taking on the state champs, the defending state champs, and so far been the best team in Missouri Class 3 baseball all season long. Westminster Christian on a 24-game winning streak.
Come on, DP.
Quickly 0-2 here on the batter, Colin Brennan. We've seen the guy he's DHing for, Mason Paulus, make a number of fine plays in the field so far. Here's Brennan, the DH, 5'9" senior. Good swing on that one and a base hit, although right fielder playing up close will have a great chance, but the throw is wide. Wow, coming up was Smith, played it perfectly. However, his throw to Connor Einertson drew him off the bag. Otherwise, that would have been an out.
Yeah, he definitely had him at first base, but throw took him off the bag just a little ways and wasn't able to get that out. But Marshall here is a leadoff hitter on, and now a chance to maybe add to their lead.
So Colin Brennan gets on with a base hit. And up now is Colin Porter. It's the Colin part of their lineup.
And Colin Brennan was hitting 184. He gets a base hit, and the other Colin here, Porter, he's batting 125, but he gets a good rip at the first pitch. So these hitters, they don't care what their batting average is now. They just feel really confident, and that's what Marshall's trying to live off of, is this confidence they've got right now.
Porter down 1-2. He's another senior, all first baseman, 6'4".
At this point, I think coach would just like to see Colin just move that runner to second base.
Yep.
And not go down with a strikeout or a pop-up or anything like that. Just get your runner to second.
A team in Lutheran South that would have probably stolen second and third by now, no matter who they had on. Here's a double play opportunity. Bobbled though by Bennis, but in time for the double play at first. Big outs there by Westminster.
I cannot tell you in words how tough of a play that was for your shortstop. Take a look at this hop he got right at the end when it comes up right into his stomach. To be able to corral that baseball, get it, flip it to your second baseman, and get it to him in time to make the throw to first for the double play, that is some great hands right there.
I mean, that was low to the ground and all of a sudden just bounced up off his chest.
Yeah, when you're not playing on a turf baseball field, you get some unpredictable hops at times, and for him to stay with that was big, because if he doesn't, it's a first and second, nobody out.
Darian Lawrence now is the batter with 2 outs, and he's down 1 ball and 2 strikes. Marshall, Missouri, located just north of I-70.
Yes.
Off the interstate between Columbia and Kansas City, or towards the Columbia side. And there's a strikeout by Marshall's Darian Lawrence. So they get a runner on. Marshall unable to add to their lead as it's 2-1 heading to the Westminster half of the 4th in the Class 3 semifinal. Here live on Time Warner Cable, Metro Sports from Springfield. First semifinal game was more of an offensive battle. This has been a pitcher's duel so far. 3 runs scooted across through 3.5 innings here in the bottom of the 4th. It's Westminster Christian batting to Aaron Skinner. Gets strike 1 yet again. Connor Larson swinging at that second offering. Here's Panel looking up into the sunny Springfield sky to record out number 1.
Skinner's doing a good job of dropping that first pitch curveball in, getting ahead of hitters, mixing his pitches really good, and just got the Westminster hitters off balance right now, and don't really know what to look for at the plate. So he just missed with that curveball outside. That's a pitch he's went to first pitch on hitters quite a bit.
Skinner's a senior, plays outfield when he's not pitching. He's been great on the mound today.
Yeah, this is what we don't need is if you're Skinner, you don't want to walk a hitter, and you want to make all the batters earn their way on base.
Jordan Smith not quite earning that walk yet, as counts now at 3-1. That ball is smashed, but coming over to make the play is the center fielder Lawrence. So kind of a theme throughout this game. Westminster in good wood / aluminum on the baseball, but kind of hitting it right at players.
Yeah, and like I said before, all you can do is hit the baseball hard, and there's not a whole lot you can do after that. If a player makes a play or it goes at somebody, there's not much you can do about it.
Aaron Skinner, the pitcher. They call him Skinny. And right below us in the front row, kind of right behind home plate, a lot of his friends and family wearing the red Marshall colors with number 12 and Skinny on the back. You can't miss him. 0-2 now as the batter Buffa fouls one off. Making up shirts for this run to the Final Four. They're excited about their Marshall Owls up there in Marshall.
Yeah, I think we figured this is the first time they've been here, so this is a big deal.
On the school's website, they talk about the pep rally they're going to have for the team before they left. Send-off came down here yesterday. It's been the whole weekend down in Springfield for a terrific experience. That ball is bobbled by the third baseman Panel, who was coming over to make the play. So was Teets, the shortstop.
And that's the third baseman's ball. If he can cut that off and get across there and take that, that's his ball. That's a tough play for the shortstop. His momentum's going towards the left side of the infield, and just being able to get your momentum and go back, it'd be a really tough play for the shortstop. So that's definitely Panel's ball. He just wasn't able to handle it and to get the out.
Let's call that E5. So with 2 outs, Buffa is on at first, and the designated hitter is up, Bryce Bell.
Buffa's got 8 stolen bases on the season, so decent amounts. So I'd like to get him in scoring position if at all possible for Westminster. So maybe opportunity for him to go here.
Skinny gets strike 1 across yet again.
So if I was going to go, this is when I'd go. He's just throwing a fastball for a strike. Probably going to be a curveball coming here. Good pitch to run on.
Bishop, the catcher, on his haunches, anticipating that very thing. Soft little looper for the third out to Teets at shortstop. And Skinner with another quality inning. It continues to be a pitcher's duel here in Springfield. 2-1, Marshall.
Off the 5th inning for the Owls, the left fielder, Sebastian Sims.
All of a sudden, we're here in the 5th inning. This game flying by. Barely an hour old. And Marshall continues to lead at 2-1 as they come up in their top half of the 5th. The batter is Sebastian Sims. Scored a run back in the 3rd inning. The guy that got things started. The 9-hole hitter.
Well, here we are, 2-0. We got a chance to set the table again and get him on base in front of the top of the order coming up.
Ball is high. 3-0.
This looks like there's times when Vanderslice is kind of aiming at times, and the other times he's really smooth, and right now it just looks like he's trying to aim that ball in there. Just needs to relax, let his mechanics that he's probably been over and over again, just let them take over and just let it go.
Lets that one go, and so does Sims. Chasing is Einertson. There's the right fielder that comes in to make the play. Caught. Great play. I mean, he was looking down at the first baseman at a nanosecond before he looked back up to catch that ball.
Not the same position, but almost the same reaction after they caught it as the guy we had earlier in the game before. The left fielder didn't know he caught the ball, and this ball almost caught your right fielder as well.
Caught it, and one down. Soft looper, and another good play. The second baseman this time. That's Smith, the right fielder for Westminster, made the other catch, and this is Larson for the Wildcats. So two good defensive plays here in the fifth by the Wildcats.
You saw that. He took a step in first, and that almost cost him, but he gathered himself and got back on it.
My right fielder's mixed up momentarily there. Another chance here for Larson, and he makes it. And just a few pitches for Vanderslice to get out of the fifth. Will that translate into some offense for the Wildcats? We'll see when we return here on Time Warner Cable, Metro Sports. Marshall loving what they're seeing so far. To put things in perspective, since the playoffs started, Westminster has run ruled 3 teams, and the only teams they didn't run rule were teams that didn't score a single run against them. They threw shutouts. But right now, Marshall is leading 2-1. Skinner is kind of in command of this game.
And, you know, teams that have had an easy road, and at times, whenever they get challenged finally, sometimes they don't respond well. So Westminster definitely has a challenge right now.
Here's Matheny for the third time, rather. He's 1 for 2. I mentioned the Open. He's going to Missouri State to play next year. Watches that curveball just miss. Shows the bunt, takes low in the dirt for ball 2. A panel racing up from third base. I think Matheny would qualify as one of those 5-tool players. He's fast, he's got a terrific arm he showed. It's for power and average. One to miss, plays defense too.
Yeah, I know as a Skinner you want to respect Matheny as a hitter, but you don't want to walk him as well. You want to go out and make him earn it.
He walks him though. Matheny on for the second time today. Leadoff runner on for Westminster here in the 5th. This is the top of the order. The 2-hole hitter Shane Bennis now up.
And Matheny stole a base pretty easily the first time he got out there, so I'd say he'll be looking to do that again. But watch Skinner will probably keep a little closer eye on him this time than he did before. So this interesting little situation here.
Up to a good lead already. Skinner's going to step off.
That's a natural fear. Let's go.
Skinner out at first. Great play by Skinner to throw to Matheny. Matheny was actually gesturing before he threw over there that Skinner had balked. Wanted to get the call from the umpire, didn't get it, and then made a move to second as Skinner went to first. Watch him.
Yeah, I saw that earlier in the game when he had a runner at first. Looked like he flinched his leg a little bit, and I think that's what Matheny might have saw. And, you know, as a runner, your job is to just play and not try to umpire, and maybe he got his mind on that and got picked off.
We can maybe see that again. There's a 45-degree angle that the pitcher is supposed to obey when he's throwing to first. Skinner might have towed that one. First baseman makes a terrific play. That's Porter falling down on his fanny to make that one. You've seen about the two games, you've seen about 3 or 4 great plays over there on that side of foul territory.
I think we need to start talking about the anatomy of an upset, and I'm telling you,
everything's happening.
Everything starts going a team's way. They start falling down on their rear ends and making plays, and it's just things happen that are strange. Great players get picked off first base. You know, it's right now things are going Marshall's way, and strange things are amiss at Meador Park today.
Looked like he had it, and you look at Andy Minnis, just he knows.
Of course, that's his son running down the first base line there, so the look was
that's a dad's expression right there.
What are you doing?
You're gonna foul out. All right, so here's Turner. And he skies one to center field that Lawrence has a beat on, and every Marshall fan at Meador Park is up on their feet, they're clapping, they're high-fiving. There's some dude with his shirt off running around with a flag. Festive time for the Owls so far. They lead it after 5, 2-1.
One of the best small business opportunities in America.
Aaron Skinner has been lights out for his Marshall Owls. Davis Vanderslice has been good as well, trying to keep his team only down 1 here as we play in the 6th inning already. And first pitch swinging right there is Jordan Pannell, and he is going to fly out to right field. Smith making the grab out there, so 1 pitch, 1 out for Vanderslice.
Westminster not having a whole lot of problem here, putting them away offensively. Their struggles is at the plate themselves, but you know, Vanderslice putting a lot of zeros up on there. He just needs to get some help from his offense.
Henry Teets is the batter. Sacrifice fly. Scored a run for Marshall in the 3rd. That's the only inning they scored runs. Those 2 that they scooted across. That was the go-ahead run. Teets fouls one off. So you talk about the anatomy of an upset. We've seen a lot of the stuff happen so far. But you were mentioning too, a last 6 outs, these last 3 outs, they become a lot different than the first maybe 9 or 12 or 15.
Those last 3 are always different. That's why you've got a lot of guys in the major leagues. They get a lot of money to get those last 3 outs, and those are just harder to get, and you got to have a little bit different mentality. Hitters just buckle down a little harder and focus in a little tighter, and it's a little tougher.
Teets also goes to right field. It's also caught by Smith again, so 2 outs for Tyler Cott. Cott, first pitch swinging. He goes to the outfield, and there's Matheny running back to make the catch. 3 up, 3 down. Good inning by Westminster and Vanderslice. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Talked about Westminster down to their last 6 outs. Due up for Westminster here in the 6th. The cleanup hitter, Connor Einertson, followed by the catcher, Brett Bond, and the second baseman, Connor Larson. Aaron Skinner has gone the distance for the Owls.
Westminster, they desperately would like to put a run on the board here and take away the pressure of being behind in the bottom of the 7th, and getting a run here would probably relax them quite a bit.
Curveball and a doozy.
You see Einerton, I think that's how you say
Einertson,
that.
yeah.
Einertson again trying to pull that curveball like he did earlier, and he's just coming up empty. Earlier he rolled over on a fastball. He needs to look to drive that pitch up the middle or to the left side.
2 straight swings and misses on those curveballs. Lefty-lefty matchup. The 1-2 pitch is just off.
Great pitch.
To the confusion of
Great
Skinner
pitch.
and all the skinny fans out here. And Einertson not biting at that one. Full count.
He was, I think he was looking curveball on the pitch before there, and he got the fastball, and that's what you call a freeze fastball, and he was not going to be able to pull the trigger on it. Now we're here at 3-2.
And it's a walk. So Einertson battles back and gets to first. Leadoff hitter on yet again for Westminster.
Looks like we're going to have a pinch runner.
Pinch runner is going to be Tyler Catlett for Einertson.
Pinch running for the Wildcats, number 17, Tyler Catlett.
He's a first baseman.
Now in high school baseball here in Missouri, you have a re-entry rule, so you can take your starter out one time and put in a sub, and you can bring him back in one time. So, but the sub, number 17, who's went in, he gets his entrance into the game now, and once he comes out, he's done.
He's done. So Einertson can bat again.
Yes.
And play the field. All right, here's Brett Bond.
I think they would like to get a runner here at second, and I don't know if you need to bunt, steal a base, do something here, but get a runner in scoring position.
Another one. Hit high, but foul. No balls, 2 strikes.
Let's go, 2.
Catlett is a sophomore. He's on at first.
Let's go, Frank. Get 2 pitches, stroke it.
The Westminster guys, just hitters need to hit a lot of fly balls and trying to pull the ball a lot. Need to work on hitting line drives and hitting the ball the other way, and getting the ball up in the air has not been a recipe for success for them so far.
That one way high. Looked like Bishop might have almost been signaling for a pitch out. Intentionally throw that one high. Swing. Foul tipped.
I think there was definitely a foul tip there.
Yeah. He said the umpire called it 2. It did hit the dirt, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
But at first I thought he rung him up.
Yeah.
I think there's some confusion from everybody here.
That's what Ian Verts is going to ask the home plate umpire, Leroy Rabb. Looked like he signaled 2 at first, as if that was the second strike, but were there 2 already? And yeah, that's it.
I definitely heard something before.
And now Rich Van Gilst has issues.
I think you need to get your umpires here together and make sure you get the right
baseball,
call.
that didn't happen.
But the important thing here is to make the right call, not to worry about anybody's ego or anything right here. Just get the right call.
He swung, he foul tipped it, and it hit the dirt before the catcher Bishop caught it.
Oh yes, it's definitely in the dirt. You can see.
So tell me, what should that be?
So should be a dead ball. Should be a dead ball.
A strike.
Once,
well, not a strike.
Yeah, but it's a foul ball.
Foul ball.
Ball hits the dirt on a foul tip. There we go. Now we're gonna get the right call.
Yep.
Thank you. That's what you got to do as umpire.
And back out comes Verts.
You've got to get the right call. That's what's important.
Ian Verts, and looking at the replay, it was closer than I thought. I thought it definitely hit the dirt, but it looked like it maybe barely got it before it jumped up in the mitt of Bishop.
But you could see the cloud of dust there before it, as it was getting to the catcher's mitt.
All right, so here we go. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a number, that's going to be off his foot.
Yeah. We got all kinds of craziness going on here.
That's the earlier pitch. Yeah, you see it did jump off the dirt.
Yep.
So good call there. They did get together.
That's what you got to do, and it's crazy because they won't get together until you ask them to get together, and that's the thing that bothers me sometimes.
Swung on, bounced foul yet again. Good call there by the umpiring crew of Leroy Rabb, Bill Buchanan, and Mark Mars.
You know, maybe in the middle of the season that's not such a big call, but this is a big call. Let's get it right.
Brett Bond just battling. Oh, and he check swings that one over to first. So a variety of swings in that at-bat for Bond. It results in an out, but an advancement of the runner, Catlett, over to second. A little kind of excuse me swing.
Whether he meant to do it or not, they've had a lot of outs today that weren't positive outs. That's a positive out. That moved a runner up into scoring position, and it worked and got the job done.
Westminster in an unfamiliar mode of trying to manufacture runs. Just push one across whatever way they can. Right now it's Connor Larson's charge.
Every guy that they can get on base this inning moves them closer to the top of their order, and that's what they want to get up with some runners in scoring position, and they haven't had that happen a lot today, and every guy they can get on is going to get them closer to that.
Connor Larson going to play college ball in California, junior college. Curveball misses outside. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Outside, 3-0.
Well, you've got the go-ahead run or the tying run on base. You don't want to put the go-ahead run on base, and you want to go ahead and challenge him, make him earn his way on the bag.
But they do. It's a 4-pitch walk, and 2 on now. It's the saving grace for Marshall is that the double play is in order, and Verts will visit the mound and Aaron Skinner.
Well, you know, we talked about the anatomy of an upset a little bit. Crazy things happen, and like you just said, you're talking about double play. It seems like when an upset upset happens, that's what you have. If something like that happens, so double play. Probably one of those where it's a line drive back to the pitcher and he turns around and throws, you know, something crazy like that, not just a routine. And it's things happen when things are going your way. So can Westminster break through here and break the little streak that Marshall has had in line drives hit at people?
Right fielder Jordan Smith.
All right, so here's Jordan Smith, the 12 versus 12 matchup here. Skinner and Smith. 1 out, 6th inning, foul ball. Catlett, the pinch runner at second. Connor Larson at first. And once again, the batter is Jordan Smith. 0 for 1, drew a walk. Ground ball, left side, and that's through. Here's Catlett coming around to score. The throw, cut off, we're tied. Quiet for so long, the Westminster crowd finally on their feet. The rarely seen in a baseball game mascot, Wildcat, pumping his fist. It's 2-2. And they're going to appeal at first and say he was safe.
Yeah, I watched that. He touched the bat. He touched home plate. I saw it. I don't think.
That was an appeal from the fans originally.
I think we had a dad.
Down the sun.
Trying to get that to happen.
All right, so 2-2. Skinner still kind of in a pinch. 2 runners on, only 1 out.
Well, we got a momentum shift here, and got to find a way to get yourself out of this and without any further damage.
Pitch is high to Buffa.
We saw this the first game. Walks kill you, and we've had a walk here, a 4-pitch walk, and now we're down 2-0, and we're into hitter's count. See what Buffa can do here.
Buffa takes that one.
That's a good pitch.
Yeah.
Fastball down and in, and was not a pitch that he was probably looking for.
Swing, and that's lofted, and that's going to drop. Short of the right fielder, just past the first baseman, and only advancing to second will be Larson because there was 1 out. He had to make sure that wasn't caught. Hey, but the bases are loaded now.
Things going Westminster's way now a little, and just 1 little base hit, getting that run across kind of relaxes your hitters, and now things are starting to go your way, and now Marshall is a team that may be tightening a little.
It's funny, Westminster kind of coming back here the bottom of the order, not with their cardinal offspring at the top of the order. It's the 6, 7, 8, 9 guys here, and here's the 9 guy, the DH, Bryce Bell.
Takes everybody in the squad, in the team. Notice that Westminster has their infield drawn in, and they're not having their middle infield play back for the double play. They're going to make the play at the plate.
That ball is hit into the gap, and that's going to get down. Runs will score. Bell racing around second. Bell's going to third for a triple, and he just unloaded the bases. A 3 RBI triple. He gets a high five from his coach, Rich Van Gilst. And just like that, Westminster Christian grabs a 3-run lead.
I think we've all been waiting for this the entire game, and just knowing that at some point this offense that has so many good hitters in it is going to break out eventually. And it's not the Matheny's, it's not the Benesses who do it, but it's your 9-hole hitter, Bryce Bell, who comes up with the big hit.
What a day by Aaron Skinner, who leaves this game. They make the pitching change. The senior, tremendous outing. But a couple of those balls that were hit hard at players earlier in the game all of a sudden found gaps, found holes, and Westminster Christian has come alive here at the midnight hour, 6th inning.
I don't think if you're Coach Birch, you can ask much more out of your starter, Skinner, than what he gave you. Did a great performance against a team that is obviously strong offensively, and he did a fabulous job for 5 1/3 innings.
So here's Colin Porter, 4-2 with a 2.91 ERA, 34 strikeouts in 36 innings. They'll replace Skinner on the mound for those O's, and then Skinner will go over to first base.
Still have your lefty on the on the mound, but it's going to be a little different arm angle. This is a 6'4" lefty, not a 5'10" lefty, so you're going to have a little different plane coming in there, and with a little different arm angle. So giving these hitters from Westminster maybe a little different look, because obviously this inning they've started to get a little more comfortable with Skinner on the mound.
The huge 3-run triple just hit by the guy at third base over there, Bryce Bell. He put a charge into that thing. There was no denying him third base as well.
It looked like your outfielders were playing in a little bit. You know, your Bell's he's not a big guy, and he's your 9-hole hitter, so I don't think you're expecting that. But all he did was just put the good part of the bat on it, and it did the work.
He had 9 RBIs going into that at bat. Got a third of those in one swing.
Well, if you're going to do it, that's about the best time you could do it right there.
Yep.
Good timing. Now we got the top of the order back
Top of the order is up. Here's Tate Matheny, 1 for 2 with a walk. Off-speed pitch delivered by Porter.
Matheny saw a steady diet of curveballs today. But now he's sitting here 2-0 in a fastball count. Normally you'd get a fastball here. He may not. Looks like he's going to get walked, put on intentionally to first base, and not real happy about it.
No. Still with 1 out, want to put that double play in order to see if they can keep their deficit at 3 runs. So all of a sudden, I mean, we were talking about Westminster counting outs now. It's Marshall who will come up in the top of the 7th, down to their last 3 outs.
Yeah, and they've got to get these 2 outs, but because I can guarantee you Matheny's getting ready to go. And then what do? Do you put Bennis on then and set up the double play, or what do you do? But they've got to get out of this inning with no more runs.
Shane Bennis had a single, popped up last at bat in foul territory, much to the dismay of his dad.
Saw the father look. Now we've got a balk call.
They're calling that a balk.
Looks like by the signal of the umpire, your pitcher, once your left-handed pitcher breaks the rubber with his foot, he has to go home. So looks like from what the umpire signaled, he broke the rubber with that.
With his left foot?
With his right foot. He went behind the rubber.
Right,
and
I see.
once
With
you
the
do
plane,
that,
you
have to go home. And apparently he broke the plane and went to first base, which is not allowed.
So that scores a run. Both runners advance, and it's 6-2. Shane Bennis with a runner in scoring position. Porter will step off as Matheny faked to move to third.
Trying to time that move. time and see how many looks he has before he goes home. There's things you can look at for a pitcher, and you can tell when he's going to go home.
So Matheny finally got his balk. It was just an inning later.
Right. And a different pitcher.
Yeah.
Some pitchers will look twice to home before they go home. Sometimes they'll look once. If you can pick up something they're doing all the time, you can time your break to third.
Swung on and
trouble.
Hit to left. This is going to be the shortstop coming out to make the play. Teets and whips it over to second, where making the stop there is Paulus. Matheny back in time, 2 down.
Good play by Teets there. Ball hit though kind of in no man's land out there, but he was able to make a good break on it and make the play look easy.
Luke Turner, your batter. 2 out, runner in scoring position. Porter to the plate for strike 1. A lot of attention being paid to Matheny. Boatload of stolen bases on the season.
Sometimes pitchers there might be a little worried that they might be runner at second might be picking up his signs maybe, so that's maybe why they're getting together there and trying to make sure that they're on the same page as which sign are we going with. Do we have a signal? Are we going first sign, second sign? What are we doing?
Inside, ball 1. Bouncer left side. On the short hop, it's Panel who can't get it. Matheny makes the wide turn at third, but he'll stay there. Runners at the corners now.
Wheels are kind of falling off.
Yeah, 3 errors
right
now for Marshall too.
And not what they wanted to see here. I would have liked to have seen what the Westminster would have done that last inning if they were down 2-1, see how they responded. Yeah. But we talked about how it was important for them to try to get a run here so they could avoid that. And they've not got 1. They've got 5 so far, and still threatening.
Einertson looking to break it open even more. Matheny running down the line, and he coaxed a balk, coaxed another one. What did you see that time?
Well, you can almost see that coming.
Yeah.
What he did is that front shoulder, he tried to glance over it, and but was not able to keep those shoulders still while he did that. And he turned the front shoulder, and that caused the balk.
Lightest of movements. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Once you come set, only thing you can move is your head, and that's it. Anything else in your body that moves, it's going to be called a balk.
So Matheny wreaking havoc on the base paths. 7-2. 2 runs scored via box this inning.
I'd say Einertson will be glad to get to tomorrow so he doesn't have to see another left-handed pitcher, because he has struggled a little bit against him. And they have thrown curveball after curveball to him.
Well, if it is in fact Westminster and Lutheran South, they're from the same conference. Westminster beat them twice this season.
And Westminster, the last thing you want to do is play somebody in your conference for the state championship, and you've already seen them a couple times.
Already beat them twice, yeah.
But I think the alternative to seeing the pitcher from Savannah that was so dominant, I think they're probably pretty happy to see Lutheran South, because we saw him throw, and
they'll probably face Strom, you think, if it does happen.
Yeah, and so seeing Strom instead of McFadden, they'll probably take that.
Full count here, and a walk to Einertson. Things unraveling here for Marshall in the sixth.
Marshall needs to get this third out, and I know 7-2 looks like a something that's going to be hard to overcome. But
that was 8-3 last game. And it's high school baseball. Ripped and dropping to center field. Another run scores. It's a base hit and an RBI for Brett Bond. Batted around this inning.
So you just got a fastball in on the hands and was able to get it out into center field. And center field, most your center fielders playing pretty deep out there. So any ball that's a hit, that's a single, is going to score a runner at second. They'll tell you many times that most of the teams that win a game score more runs in one inning than the other team scores the entire game. We've seen that happen here, and those big innings. If your pitcher, staying away from those big innings is the key. We say those crooked numbers are bad when you're a pitcher.
It's not that crooked anymore, but it's a 7.
Yeah, it does have a bend in it though.
That one's poked out into left. Is that one going to drop? No. Diving play made. A tremendous play by Sebastian Sims out there in left to finally put an end to this nightmare 6th inning for Marshall. It's all said and done. 7 runs for Westminster Christian. They take a commanding lead to the 7th. It's 8-2. Game changed in the bottom of the 6th inning. It went from a pitcher's duel 2-1 Marshall to all of a sudden broken out in favor of the Westminster Christian Academy Wildcats. 8-2, and Vanderslice on the mound now, looking for 3 more outs to close this thing out and send his team back to the state championship game for the 2nd year in a row. The batter is Colin Brennan from Marshall. He's got a single in this game. It's strike 1.
Vanderslice in this situation, you're up 8-2, big lead. You got your bottom of the order up. You're just wanting to throw strikes, make the batters put the ball in play.
Knocked out of play, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Say the load on the back of the players of the team in blue has got a lot lighter.
Yeah, a little bit, huh?
Yes, because they were feeling it. Come up here to the Final Four and you're expected to win. You know, you're talking about high school guys here. That's a lot of pressure, And so sometimes that's hard to overcome.
Do it again. Stays a full count. flared to right. Smith coming over to the line, makes the catch, a step into foul ground. 1 away.
Good job by Vanderslice. Went to that full count. Didn't want to be there, but came to the fastball, made him put it in play, got the out, and that's exactly what you want to see with an 8-2 lead.
There's the new pitcher, Colin Porter, up now. He swings at the first pitch, loops it to shortstop. Shane Bennis calling off everybody, and now 1 out to go for Westminster to get back to the state championship game. They're your state champs from 2011. Beat Savannah last year in the state championship. Savannah lost earlier today. Now they're looking to close out Marshall and get to Lutheran South. 2 private schools from St. Louis in the same conference. They know each other well. They're in the same dugout today.
Yeah, you wonder how you think it sometime before the Final Four that those 2 teams would have played in the either districts or in the playoffs, but somehow they both got there.
Just did it so in the regular season. Another pop out and foul ground, and Westminster Christian is your winner here in this semifinal game. Hugs all around and very deserving for Davis Vanderslice, who throws a terrific game, gives up just 2 runs. And Westminster Christian moves on to Saturday's big game. There's a consolation game between Savannah and Marshall, but the championship game will be a battle of St. Louis. Westminster Christian and Lutheran South will wrap things up from the second semifinal game of Class 3 here in Meador Park after this. Well, they didn't make a whole lot of sound all game long until about the 6th inning. Then the Westminster crowd came alive when their bats came alive, and the 7 spot in the 6th inning gets it done for Westminster Christian Academy. And Lance, I think we see why this team is on a 24-game winning streak.
Well, we talked about an upset, what that takes, and no errors, no walks. Well, in that 6th inning, we had a few walks and got some guys on, and then the bats came alive for Westminster and really put up that 7th spot, put the game away.
Make it a 25-game winning streak as Westminster improves to 28-3 on the season. They'll take on Lutheran South, a team that's beaten twice, but it's a 3-0 game and a 2-0 game.
Very close games. The saying, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. That's going to be put to the test tomorrow.
Put to the test in the state championship game. Congratulations to Marshall for making a tremendous run to this game. Congratulations to Westminster moving on. Class 4 semifinal coming up at 4. Liberty and Rockwood Summit, the first of 2 semifinal games in Class 4. For our entire Time Warner Cable Metro Sports production crew, and for Lance Quisenberry, my name is Mick Schaefer. We'll see you next time right here